because I know we watched a kind of consensual earlier, but this is another one. Rich got in trouble at work. And if Rich got in trouble at work, you know it's going to be funny. So I want to hear Rich's story about how he got in trouble at work. Exactly, Llama. Exactly. Again. So if he got in trouble, you know it's going to be funny. All right, Rich, what'd you do this time?
Have another 15-6 investigation. Because on this podcast, which you can go back to previous episodes and see, I read the questions that I was asked during my investigation for a sharp violation when I smoked the female.
Oh, it's not even for police. This one's for another military investigation. Oh, no. Oh, this is going. Oh, God. Oh, this should be good.
Investigation for a sharp violation when I smoked the female privates and they got upset because I treated them like every other soldier.
Context. I feel it must give context. When Rich says I smoked the female privates, it means basically having them do exercise as punishment. The female privates fucked up, so he had them doing push-ups. He had them doing sit-ups, stuff like that. That's what he means by smoked the privates, okay? And Applejuice, thank you for the follow.
And then
they hate that. Don't do that.
They hate that. So the issue is, from what I'm told so far, because my battalion commander called me up and said, hey, there's a 15-6, we're looking into you. There was a complaint. We don't know by who. It was just sent down by Big Army. And this major is going to head the investigation. So expect a call from Major so-and-so. He's going to be the lead investigator on this this 15-6. And I was like, okay. And we talked about it. And the issue is that I stated the troops' names. Not that they had a complaint, not that they complained, but like if I said, like an example would be, Drill Sergeant High, did you tell Private Brown that you were going to curb stomp them? And I'd be like, no, I did not say that to Private Brown, right? The issue is that I said Private Brown's name. Which I asked the question to my commander, and he gave me, a straight answer. And I really do appreciate my command because they shoot it to me straight. But I asked him this, and I said, so I didn't say that these troops complained about me. I said, these are just questions that I was asked by the investigator. Why can't I repeat questions asked to me by the investigator? I'm not saying that Private so-and-so asked me this. I'm not saying that Private so-and-so even complained. I'm saying that somebody asked me if I said or did something to Private so-and-so.
Yeah.
So I guess the issue is that I said their names.
Okay. I think I kind of know where this is going. All right, I think I can understand the logic behind the investigation and the issue with him doing this is, yes, he repeated the questions that he was asked. But by including the names, I'm thinking that the Army is taking the approach of, yeah, it's stupid, but I think the Army is taking the approach of, okay, you're basically doxing these privates on the internet. Well, Rich is not saying that these privates in question actually complained, that he's only repeating the questions that he was asked. We'll just say that people will ignore that and take it as gospel that Private so-and-so actually did. Take it as gospel that Private so-and-so supposedly said this or supposedly made this claim. And people will just run with that. And it's a bullshit situation all around, but I actually can understand where they're coming from that perspective of even though he's not, he's only repeating the questions that he was asked, you're still disclosing names and people may just run with that. They may just take those names and then run with it. I mean, last damn, I don't disagree with you on that one. That they shouldn't have given the private name. But the thing is they're doing a formal investigation, and they probably had to give the specific private names for context of the situation that they were addressing. So they probably in the question they probably had to give it private names. But with Rich talking about it on the internet, people are going to basically take that and run with it, and Rich basically kind of docks to these privates. It's fucked up in overall, and yeah, if he was given permission to basically repeat the questions that was asked to him, and now he's getting told, well, now you gave out those privates names, everything. It's like I see where they're coming from in not wanting to in maintaining the privacy and safety of the individuals that may have filed a complaint. But at the same time, they also fucked up because they gave Rich the go-ahead to actually repeat the questions that he was asked on the internet. So it's like, I can understand it, but at the same time, it's just overall, it's very fucked up. So it's a sticky one. In a nutshell, Command fucked up. Yeah, and actually, that's where I was going. In a nutshell, Command screwed the pooch on this one. They're the ones that should be taking the hit, not Rich. That's what it boils down to.
I
because
gotta
heaven
interject
forbid,
here.
because I don't know if this is true or not. I'm only speculating here, but heaven forbid these privates are now active or in the guard or wherever after passing basic training, and their units are like, did you complain about him saying you're not allowed to have petroleum jelly? That's what you complained about? Like shit like that. And then they're getting shit for it, which I'm not saying they should. They felt hurt, whatever. An investigation happened. I'm not saying they should. But if it happens, that's kind of funny.
Oh, Rich.
Man.
I mean, what would you expect?
Squeaky, I don't know.
You're all fantastic NCOs that have gone through shit. If you made I don't want to say frivolous complaint, let's say you made a complaint because your NCO said that you're mine now. Your ass is mine. What do you think would happen to you after that investigation at like company level went down when you complained about that?
Squeaky, to your question, does he get an advocate? He's not being charged. So he's not being charged under the UCMJ. So there's no need for him to have any kind of counsel. This is all basically being handled internally. So no, he's probably not going to have an advocate or a rep or anything like that. He's basically just answering to his command.
Oh, I think I'd get shit on, especially if it went. It's so weird to put myself in the shoes of someone launching an investigation in the first place.
My guess is it would be entered into the record.
Unless something truly.
It in case of, well, if it comes out as being frivolous, I do actually think there may be some punishment. It will probably go into the record that they filed a false complaint. There could possibly be action taken against the individual who files a frivolous or false complaint. There is potential that action be taken. Now, what action that is, I do not know. I don't know if this is action that could be done, if action could be taken against them in a legal sense, or if there is action that could be taken against them in an administrative type sense. But I imagine if you make a false allegation against another individual in the military, particularly if it's a drill sergeant, you're saying like, oh, the drill sergeant did X, Y, or Z. At the very least, I would expect there to be some form of administrative punishment. Maybe an Article 15, possibly. What would be another one? Article 8, is it I'm thinking of? maybe I never the one article I definitely remember in regards to punishment is Article 15. But yeah, there could be administrative punishment facilitated against someone that makes a false complaint, particularly if it's an official false complaint.
Launching an investigation in the first place, because I'd be like, no, unless something truly bad or horrific happened to me, I'd be like, I'm being a pussy. I need to nut up. I'll push through this. Let's say I did complain. I would try to hide that shit. But that means they, at their unit, are the exact same way, because there are so many private Browns. There has to be a lot of private Browns.
I got put under investigation while I was on leave.
Your mic cut out.
What?
You chode.
Dude, it's the internet here. I said I got put under investigation while I was on leave.
For what?
Like, because I hurt some piece of shit soldier's feelings, but it's okay. He got kicked out of the army, and then he went and he was a trucker, and then he crashed the truck. That was the last I heard from him. It was great. Oh man, no,
Oh God, I wonder if while he was on leave, HLC made a video or something and hurt some guy's feelings, and said guy went and pissed and moaned to the sergeant, went, HLC hurt my feelings. She didn't hurt my feelings. But apparently he was such a shit soldier, he got his ass booted out of the army. So
what I was laughing about while Rich was talking, I wasn't laughing at you. So if you've ever, Eli, have you ever been investigated?
Everyone's shaking their head because your mic keeps cutting out.
All right, I'm going to leave the chat. I'll come right back. Give me a second.
It's not that. You just need to get closer to it.
All right, is that gooder?
I don't know.
Gooder.
Sure, for
Is
now.
Okay. Dude's my internet here. So, Eli, have you ever been investigated? Eli, have you ever been investigated?
No, God, no.
Oh.
I was in for wartime
God,
army
no.
out.
What?
Wartime army out.
Me
There
and
was
Eli
way
were
other shit to-
E4s, okay?
Yeah, I was
What
like,
the are we gonna get investigated
Yeah,
for?
that's fair.
E4
So, Nick,
Mafia,
you ever been
baby.
investigated either?
You think I'm bad at stealing shit? You think I would get caught stealing shit? You never know.
Okay, for you two, the investigating officer isn't like their job. Like, they're not like an army detective.
No.
It's some random officer. They're like, you're going to investigate this shit. So I was laughing because I feel for this poor major. They're like, all right, you're going to investigate this guy who's an SVU detective and going to know everything you're trying to get out of him. And we need you to get to the bottom of this.
That's what happened to the first
God.
guy that had to investigate me from the active component. He called me up and I was like, hey, bud, listen, I can already tell you don't know what you're doing, which is fine. You've been honest with me. You told me that this isn't normally your job. I go, I'm a special victims unit detective. Like, I know how to do an investigation. You're not doing a good job. You just write down the questions you want to ask me, and then I'll send you back my answers. How about that?
It's like
God.
that scene, it's like that scene from The Dictator where the guy's going to torture him and he's just underwhelmed at how bad he is at torturing. That's what that's like. No, keep torturing me. I'll act scared and upset this time. You're doing great.
oh yeah, reveal the knife again. I promise. I'll do better this time. Oh my God.
Oh God. It must have pained Rich to have this guy investigating when he's sitting there going, oh my God, dude, no, this hurts. Don't do this. I know exactly what you need to do. I know what you need to do. Just fucking stop. I have not seen The Great Dictator. The only part of The Great Dictator I've seen is the part that I showed you on stream, which is that really emotional speech at the very end. This is the only part of The Great Dictator I've seen. I wonder if I should watch it. Like classic Charlie Chaplin. I should really watch it one of these days.
Rich just dadding an investigator.
Oh,
Yeah.
man.
What'd he say?
He was like, okay. He just wanted to get it over with, man. He was looking at it. He knew all the questions that these privates were like asking and are bitching about or whatever, the statements. he looked at it like any other NCO would, and it was just like, we're upset about this. This is a complaint. There's 30 questions or like 20 privates that complained about these like 30 different things that you said or did. Like, what are we doing here? What is this? And I knew that it was a bad investigation from the start, because if you go up to the individual that made the complaint, and then from there you say, is there anybody else that saw what you saw? Yes, these people. And then you go up to those individuals. What you don't do, which is what happened, is you don't go in front of the entire company and then sit them all down and say, hey, listen, this is a safe space. Tell me everything that Drill Sergeant did that made you feel bad.
Oh, my sweet fuck. Oh, fuck me. This guy broke the #1 rule when it comes to interviewing witnesses / complainants. Holy fuck. Okay, so for those of you that are not familiar with law enforcement investigative tactics, when you have a collective of people that have made a complaint about someone, you don't actually you don't get them all together and simultaneously at the same time with them all together question them about the particular about the offense in question and say, okay, tell me about this, what happened. So these multiple witnesses / complainants have each other to bounce the shit off of and agree with, disagree with, feed information to. You separate. You take every fucking witness or complainant, separate them, put them in their own separate interview rooms, and you question them individually. You don't let them talk to one another. You don't let them compare notes. You don't let them share stories or nothing. You have them all separated, conduct an investigation, you interview them individually. Don't tell and when you interview one, okay, here's what happened. Okay, tell me what happened. Okay. Hey, thank you. Stay. Go to the next one. Okay, tell me what happened. Do not insinuate any information that you received from witness complainant #1. Okay, witness complainant #2. What did you say? Okay, yeah, okay, thank you. Stay. Go to the next one. Like, that's how you conduct a basic fucking interview with multiple complainants / witnesses. This is fucking basic. Like, you don't need to be an SVU detective like Rich to know that this is how you conduct a fucking investigation. You don't do it at a you don't do it on a simultaneous company-wide clusterfuck and say, okay, it's a safe space. Tell me what you guys want to tell me. Holy fuck.
And then I'll write them down, and that will be the basis of this investigation, which is exactly what happened. You're going to tell 180 privates, more or less, hey, did Drill Sergeant High say anything that made you feel sad? And by the way, you've carte blanche here. There's no negative repercussions. And they're going to go, oh, yeah, I do. Yeah, okay, yeah. Is it going to get
because they're going to have support?
Oh, yeah.
It's going to be, it is literally, I see my buddy raise his hand. I'm now going to raise my hand. Oh, I can just do this. And then they just team up. Oh, let's actually get this dude in trouble.
Yeah.
Yes.
You know, I'm like the polar opposite. Before I got out, we still had like a lot of those sensing sessions, and there's a couple people that I worked with at Fort Sill. They're like, the TRADOC Sergeant Major was there. This, I don't know, 3 or 4 star, whatever the hell he was. And this girl raises her hand and she's like, is there anything about like the DFAC getting better food? And I was like, this bitch, like, that's not even his job.
I have a question.
Look.
What is the DFAC like now? Because I went to basic training in 2012, and I think the most people quit was the first time we went to the DFAC, where we had like 30 seconds to eat food before they kicked us out, and then we had like 4 fat kids that started crying and quit right then on the spot.
Wait a minute. That's the thing. When you're in basic training, you can literally just go, fuck it, I quit, and walk the fuck away. That's really a thing that can be done right now. Oh, the food sucks. I quit. Uh, yes, Atsurashi, he was in the guard. He was. But you still sign a contract when you sign up for the guard. No, it's not Eki? Okay, thank fucking God. Thank fucking God. Takes you weeks to actually get discharged. They're not in a hurry. Fair. Well, Coyote, at least once at a time they were supposed to be. I think things might have changed slightly over the years. I'm not entirely sure. In basic, you can quit. Oh. Why did they pussify the military? Why did they just pussify the military like that? Yeah, Kevin? I mean, that's kind of that, like, the people that I've talked to, when they went through basic training, it was years ago. Okay, this was like what the people that I know that were in the military when they went through basic training, it was like 25 years ago. And there was no bullshit of like, oh, you went to the chow hall, we didn't like the food, so I quit. And it was like, the Joel starts to be like, shut the fuck up, go outside, you're gonna be running for a while. It's like, dear God, had a girl yell, I captain first day basic, that age wanted out. This is hurting my soul.
Have they
Yeah,
regulated that more? Or like, are you still allowed to do that?
Is this in basic or when, Nick?
This was like
Basic.
my first day of basic training, like actual basic training. They smoke the dog shit out of you all morning, and then you get to lunch or whatever, or dinner, whatever the fuck it was, and you have to like
Last man
stand at
sitting.
parade rest in front of your tray at the table, and there's literally a drill instructor with a stopwatch. He's like, "Okay, eat," and everybody sits down, and I think I got 2 bites of spaghetti, and then he's like, "Everybody get the fuck up and get the fuck out," and we just had to dump our food, and then we had like, I don't know, 4 to 6 fat kids that started crying and quit, and then they were the water bearers for the rest of basic training.
Yes.
Like, pretty much what
God.
Yes and no. It's a touchy subject.
Of course
you
it
will
is.
Get, you do. Tradoc says you get a certain amount of time to eat. I'm not going to put that.
World War II military, 2025 wussified military.
I thought those were silent and stuff like that. I thought those were silenced. What the hell's going on? Okay. Anyway.
Juju out there. Tradoc says you have a certain amount of time to eat, and you can't.
10 minutes?
What's that?
10 minutes?
I think it might be 10 minutes.
I know we had but for okay,
Yeah,
just
that's
really
not
quick,
you'll do
it
that.
was very much. They did it. First man sits down. That's when it was 10 minutes started. So then everyone's cycling
Because
through.
that's an
They don't give a
interpretation of the
shit
rules.
past that.
Yes, that's an
Oh.
interpretation of the rules.
Exactly.
So some people interpret it that way. I have no problem with that. So it depends on what battalion you're with. Because you'll get battalions that have private huggers, which is the one that I was in last time, which is obviously true because all they did was coddle the private so much so that they made a bullshit investigation on me. And in that battalion, he was hands off. You couldn't like really even yell at them. You in DFAC, it was like DFAC was hands off, which is like, I get it. Like the sergeant major was like, it's their turn to eat. They got to eat. They need nutrition. We're not going to break these kids off. They have to eat, otherwise they're going to get broke. They need nutrients. And I'm like, I get that. I understand that. But just because you're eating doesn't mean that there is a lack in discipline. Doesn't mean that we remove discipline from the DFAC, right? We still have to install discipline. And so that's where it's soft. However, there are still battalions that will be loud and boisterous and motivate the troops to eat. And, there's a whole bunch of tricks of the trade. Like, you pull the kid back because he's not bringing the bowl to the food, so instead of like picking his bowl up off his tray, bringing it to the salad bar and scooping salad in it, he's just like scooping salad into his bowl on his tray and spreading salad all over the place, right? Which makes a mess for the poor people who have to clean it up. So what you would do
black ladies.
We have a lot of felons, so it's just a lot of white felons.
Wait,
So-
really?
Yeah, a lot
Okay,
of
we'll get back to that. Go
I
on.
was going to say
it's a
that
mix.
all the DFAC workers are felons as far as I was ever concerned.
What the changed from
Really?
when I was in?
Yeah, we got sassy old white ladies and felons, white felons. Handful of black
you just
people.
have big black ladies, old big black ladies that love. Oh, hey,
Wait. There aren't actual, like, cooks? Like, MOS cooks in the DVAC? It's all, like, civilian? Yeah, maybe it might depend upon the base, so it's all civilian. Huh! Okay, it's all civilian contractors now. Okay. Interesting.
get in here. You want some, sweetie? Like,
Some of those
everyone's
are
just
still
a big
there.
black lady.
I think it's. I'm not saying that they're extinct. Like, there are other ones that are predominantly black, but in our basic training world, it was more predominantly whites.
Well, you're at Leonard Wood, and Eli went through Benning, right?
Yeah,
Yes.
I went through Benning. Yeah,
Yeah, you went through Benning, so I mean,
He's at Lost in the
little
Woods.
geographic difference there, though.
I know, but I didn't know they were like none of them were felons. To my I didn't ask.
You
And I
had
didn't
just
assume,
look at
'cause
them,
that's
Eli.
racist.
Don't be naive.
I know. I was gonna say. I was like, that's racist.
They got a faded swastika in
Oh,
between
I'm
their
not
eyes.
saying the
and-
felons are black. I'm saying that the felons are just felons. There were white and Hispanic felons. That's racist.
Come on,
Anyway,
Eli.
like,
Well, in fairness, Eli is racially ambiguous. He gets a pass on it. Just saying.
You had your super ears back then. You couldn't hear their criminal record. Come on.
Oh, that was fun. That was great. That was fun. It's this goodness. Dios mío. That was something. The state of basic training is just fucking hell. The state of basic training right now. Oh, it begs the question of how the hell we can actually have a fighting force anymore. Goodness. Okay.